That's for sure.
All right, so we had to redo this one from yesterday because yesterday was just late. It was foggy.
Yeah,
Um,
tired,
and I
fatigued.
want to revisit right now. So,
Well, listen, man. This is a question for you and to the folks that are listening. Okay. Um, we all know that a lot of people are against Trump. We all know that they don't like what Trump is doing with the ICE and all this. And what gets me a lot is the people forget. Okay. And I'm here to remind you people all Trump did was move forward with what Barack said, what Hillary said, what Bill said, what a lot of people in the White House have said. There are videos out there, true videos, they're not fake. They're true videos of all of them saying you do the crime. If you're an immigrant, you're going to be deported, blah, blah, blah. Nothing was done. If anything, um, Biden is the one that pretty much screwed everything up, said, oh, I need more votes. Just bring them into the country. And all they have done was wreak havoc. All Trump is doing is what other presidents have said, warned, whatever. Trump is just laying the law down and putting his foot down onto the floor. So, here we have ICE and all of this. I just want people to understand, don't hate the man for what he's doing. We have Baraka who's mentioned it. Again, we've had Hillary who's mentioned it. So, like get off that bandwagon, leave the man alone. He's just doing something. Now, is it out of control? Yeah, probably. Is it excessive? Probably too. But again, everybody watches all these cop videos. Like, I'm not giving you my ID. So they're just practicing something that, like, Jesus Christ, just give the man the ID. Because if I was a cop and I pulled you over and I said, all right, ID registration for what? For what? You're already a suspect now. Now, why are you giving me a hard time, dude? I mean, I smiled. I said, hello,
well,
I'm Officer Ruiz. You know what I mean?
yeah, and just to curb that thought really quick, because you were saying that Trump is just moving forward, and that's absolutely true. He is moving forward to what we had, what we needed a long time ago.
Dude,
Did you see that?
we're
No,
looking at
but
15, 20 years already. They've been talking about this. All this
I
guy
mean,
did
but
was to
yeah,
implement.
but yeah, I just want to focus really quick on the point of the moving forward part. Because did you see the video that I put out when Karine Jean-Pierre was given that press conference and they put a bounty for $25 million
Oh
on
yeah,
Maduro's head?
yeah.
So just like you're saying, just to back what you're saying, all Trump did was say, okay,
Mm-hmm,
got him.
mm-hmm.
So I'm not, so just like you're saying, like you're people are outraged. If there was a demo, this is what I was just talking about the video I just recorded right before you jumped on. If there was a Democrat in office, there would be silence from the left.
Mm-hmm.
Silence.
Yep.
And we have proof of that because of what just took place in the past 4 years.
And again, it's sad what's going on. Okay, I'm not gonna front. You know, this Renee lady, made a bad choice, made a bad decision. And people are just going crazy. The news put out one thing, then social media put out another thing, then you have all the haters, because when you think about what happened to her, okay, it's very unfortunate. The videos are cut and dry, though. There's no misunderstanding anything. You know, was she egged on? Absolutely, she was egged on by her own wife. Drive, baby, drive. And like just to hear that alone bothers me. Okay, because these people that are going out to protest, they believe that they are above the law. Listen, that's not the only incident that happened. Let me just go to the side for a minute on this. We'll get back to this incident. Okay. All of these people that protest are jumping in front of these moving vehicles. Like, how stupid are you? You know what I mean? You're not gonna stop it, you know? So all that happened, the story is as follows. What people believe truly happened. She was dropping off her wife, she was dropping off the dog, and she was making a U-turn. I'll tell you one thing, bro. That is the longest U-turn I've ever seen in my life. While honking, dancing, taunting. The wife gets out and taunts some more. Big boy, I'll get you lunch or whatever. All that crap she says. Okay. And then we got the other side. We're like, oh my God, she almost ran over the guy. Oh, then the other side says, no, we did it. Okay. This is the bottom line. Did that man put himself in harm's way? This guy's doing this every single day. Okay. Who knows who tried to run him over before? Because it's interesting that he took out his phone to record, maybe just recording for evidence in case another situation like that happens. Okay. So let's look at it this way. Let's change the scenario. He wasn't in front or on the driver's side front part of the vehicle. Okay. And all this drive, baby, drive, baby, drive. Now remember this, folks. The man went to the car, says, get out the car, puts his hands in there, does all this crazy stuff. Now we have the drive, baby, drive. Listen, if that dude who was standing in the front corner, hear me out, the front corner of that vehicle, and just happens to be walking around from the passenger side, he would have been ran over. Let's give that some thought. Okay, but no, we're not looking at scenarios. We're looking at the narrative of Trump and ICE and the abuse that these people are giving. These are federal people. These are federal employees. These are people that are pretty much up there in a level that's above cops, pretty much, when you break it down. Okay. Was it right for that guy to go over to the car, get out the car, and put his hands in there? There's a lot of red tape going around with that. With that, okay, was it right for her to have driven off? Absolutely not. Now, this is the kicker. What people don't understand is she didn't just back up and put it in drive and just just let go of let go of the brakes. No, dude, she hit the gas pedal. You will see the wheel spin back and spin forward. Okay, so not only look, the whole situation is just messed up. Okay. Um, I don't think we're gonna solve anything right now because you have people that just believe and believe and believe that she was scared with a smile, that she was frightened what was gonna happen, honking the horn, dancing, you know what I'm saying? Taunting also, along with the wife taunting. Like, people are saying, like you got other people that say, well, who's this mother of three? Why is she going state to state or whatever, whatever it is she's doing, to follow ICE and give a hard time. Now, that's another story that I didn't get to follow up on. The story is that she has done this several times already, several times. So, is this a frustration? Let's just hypothetically say you are hired to do a job. Hey, Victor, I need you to move these people out of the way. That is your job. Okay. Hey, Victor, I need you to go to the next town, to the next state, doing the same thing. And then you got these people that are constantly following you, harassing you. Did they get tired of it? I don't know. Did they get frustrated? Oh, here's this lady again. God damn it. Yo, I'm going to record her because she almost hit me the last time. Who knows how that whole story is? Bottom line is this: she hit the guy, self defense. It is written everywhere. If you are in a vehicle and use your vehicle to go towards anybody, to intimidate, to scare them, whether you honk your horn, you rev your motor, it's against the fucking law, bro. It's against the law. Okay? She should have known better than to do this, man. Like I said before to you, these are people with guns, whether it's ICE, okay? ICE, the police, a damn carjacker. Here, I'll get out, man. Take my shit. Let me just keep my wallet. However you want to throw around with that. But no, this lady decided to listen to her wife say, "Drive, baby, drive," and just take off. And if people cannot see that, then you're just blind. You're blinded by it. Thank goodness that that ICE person was at the corner of the car, because had he been walking around it, and I'm trying to find a different angle of the video to see if she even bothered to look before she took off. It could have been like, yeah, I'll drive, baby. And oh, sweat. I just hit this guy. Like that was the last thought in her mind. You know
Well,
what I'm saying?
I think you kind of answered that earlier because when you started speaking about this situation, let's be honest, right? Because I don't want to be an idiot. Not an idiot, I'm sorry. Just like someone that's delusional and say she tried to run him over. No, she didn't. Oh, here we go with Siri. Every single time, dude. I gotta learn how to take this whole Siri thing off but no, she did not try to run him over.
No.
Yes, she did try to get away. You cannot do
Hmm.
that. So when you were saying that these protesters feel like they have full immunity, no, you don't. You still have to follow the law. You still have to obey the rules. And it's just not following the law where an ICE agent is just like, we're police in this neighborhood and you're impeding traffic. It goes beyond that because a police officer of that state has the right to do that. An ICE officer does not have the right to pull you over. According to my knowledge, I
Hmm.
could be wrong. They don't have the right to pull you over if you pass a red light. They don't have the right to pull you
No.
over if you're speeding. They
Nope.
do not have the right to pull you over, even if you are impeding traffic, right? If she was just out of the way, like, and just being a pain in the ass, that's the state police job, the jurisdiction of the
Hmm.
police officers. What she was doing, however, was blocking them from doing their job. When they all started trying to drive away, she blocked them. Now we have a problem because there was probably a lot more to that situation. Like you said, I've seen countless is bad, countless videos of people throwing themselves on the ICE agents' cars,
You see it. Yep.
throwing rocks at them, throwing objects, whatever it is, snowballs, fucking with these ICE agents. Why? Because they got marching orders from someone to tell them and pay them to do that. This is not free. Now, what I was mentioning in my video before this is like if you all are going out there to really protest to make a difference, you wouldn't have your phones out. The only reason why you're agitating the situation is to get views and clicks on social media.
Hmm.
Okay? We cannot protest the way they're doing it. We can't do that. And I'm sorry for Renee. I'm sorry
Hmm.
that she was that stupid to do what she did. Does she deserve to die? No one does. Not
No
like
one.
that.
Yep. Yep.
Absolutely not. I will concede to that forever and ever. When you're saying, because this is where me and you disagree. And I know deep inside you probably don't want to be too vocal about it, and that's okay. That's my opinion, right?
Yep.
I'm not judging you at all.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I think that you think, hear me out, that ICE agents are like literally just running up to vehicles and pulling people out. I don't think that's happening. And maybe you don't think that's happening. Maybe you're exaggerating. If an ICE agent comes up to your vehicle, let's say they surround it, right? Like very aggressively. Now, right? Today. If they did that today, the reason why they're doing that is because, and I'm gonna give it to you. I'm gonna give it to you.
No, 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 no.
Um,
I'm saying that's what I'll do, man.
oh, sorry, I wasn't even looking.
And my hand on the
Yeah, I
steering
wasn't
wheel
looking at the
dashboard.
screen.
Fuck that shit. Out the window, man. Yo, I'm good. I'm good.
And that's what I'm saying. But the reason why they are aggressive like that is because, like the video I showed you yesterday, that dude
Uh-huh.
cocked that shit in milliseconds. Bap, 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 done. So now, because of the way people are acting, yes, they are getting aggressive. But if you would just look, if they pulled you over, let's say they cut you off like "Arr!" whatever, and they're just like, show me hands. I'm like, okay, what's up? Are you an American citizen? Yes. Okay, you still got to come with me. They're not going to pounce on you like that if you cooperate, bro. They're not robots. If they were androids, yeah, we'll have a problem. But they're
Uh,
not. They're
again,
just,
again,
and I think, do you
unfortunately,
understand what I'm saying?
no. You know what? You're absolutely right. Okay. I'm not gonna say that I've been brainwashed thinking that these guys do this, but
I'm not
unfortunately,
saying that, just know
no,
that.
no, no. I'm
Yeah,
just
I'm
saying,
not, yeah.
but unfortunately, that's all they show. But keep in mind, I am fully aware of them just, hey man, let's go get a cup of coffee. You know, they gotta go through a crowd just to go get a cup of coffee, getting stuff thrown at the car, people stopping in front just to get a cup of fucking coffee. So now we gotta open up windows, do a little bit of mace action, because for the most part, I give them credit. They don't jump out, they really don't jump out of their vehicles gun hoeing crazy with these people jumping in front of the cars and all. But man, they don't hesitate to open up that window and just spray a little bit of mace. You know what I'm saying? To get the
Okay,
car.
but let's be real. These are federal agents, right? They have the same rights as American citizens to
Hmm.
protect themselves.
Yep.
Surround my car and see what happens. Come on, surround my car.
That's I've always told my wife. I said, man, if I ever got caught in a protest, I'm not
Surround my
stopping.
car and see what
Okay,
happens.
because I'm gonna tell you something right now. Okay, people are just stupid today. Not all, but a good majority of people are
I
stupid.
think
If if
brainwashed,
if you
like
don't
you said.
follow your history on how these protests and riots work, okay, look at the guy in the George Floyd riot. He was in a truck, dude, a truck that would annihilate cars. And all he did was stop and yanked him out and beat him to death and just called it a day.
Well, I
So
think you're
no,
referring
no, no, no.
to,
But this is what I'm saying.
yeah.
So if you're a cop, agent, ICE, whatever, and you're going through this and you got this protest, and if you know your history, dude, this is some stuff that you got to be careful with.
Yeah, and I think you
So
were
hey, Victor, be careful because that's a big guy over there, and he's walking over with his hand in his pocket. Maybe we should just dip out, but they can't because they're gonna run over people.
well,
You see,
the I think what you were trying to reference was the LA riots because I did see that. The
yeah,
dude
yeah.
got drug
It
out
wasn't that.
and
No, no, but it was because of the George Floyd thing.
no, the LA riots were a little different. That was when Rodney King got beat. And
Oh
it's
shit!
a
Yes, wrong
no, and it's
person.
okay.
Sorry,
I'm
folks.
not holding it
You're right.
against you. It's
Rodney
fine.
King.
Yeah,
Rodney
the
King.
Rodney King
Absolutely.
situation, because I remember that vividly, and it made me so angry to watch that poor white dude get his fucking ass kicked. No cops were around. I don't know if that was political or not, but he got for what? Just for being white? And it's ironic when people are like, well, I was driving while being black. And it's just like, okay, so now we're just gonna drag people out because they're white
Hmm.
and just beat the shit out of them. And you know what? It does happen even to this day. Look at the couple that got their asses whooped recently. So, and I'm not trying to make this a black and white issue, um, because you do have great points. Yeah, you should be afraid, and
Yeah.
the reason why people are afraid is not because of what ICE is doing. It's because you have people agitating the situation.
Hmm.
Let me give you an example. Every single time that I've gotten into a confrontation with someone else, like a real heavy confrontation while we're about to throw hands, was always because of a woman. Why? Because she didn't want to mind her fucking business. Like, can you please step aside, including my mother? All right. There have been times when I was confrontational with people, and my mother's like, Mom, step aside. You're making this worse. You're like, I'm trying to talk to him, but you're like, Vic, calm down. I am calm. Now you're agitating the situation.
Hmm.
And women have the gift to do that shit. And that's not to say like, oh, women are stupid or whatever. No, it's natural, right? If uh if you're walking your dog and you so happen to cross paths with another dog, motherfucker's gonna go crazy.
Yeah.
That's not to compare a woman to a dog. God damn, I might catch flack for that. And that's okay. But the point is that with all these agitators. Like people are acting like ICE is out here being wild. Like you just opened up with that. You're saying that it's getting out of, no, it's not out of control. You know what's out of control? The news media trying to make it
Mm-hmm.
seem like it's out of
Mm-hmm.
control. ICE is in every state right now. I've seen them here in Williamsburg. I don't see the shit that you see in these blue states, and I know this is kind of like an in between, but they come in, they do their job, and they go. That's it.
Listen,
Why are
listen. When ice was first introduced, okay, I kid you not, bro. They were in my mall, okay, and
really? Well, where you
supposedly
at? Jacksonville? Yeah, that makes
Jacksonville,
sense.
okay, and supposedly they can't do that. They cannot go into a place, an establishment for business and all that. Everything,
Henry, that's the police. That's the police cannot do that. The state and county police cannot do
really,
that. ICE is federal, bro. They can go anywhere they want.
wow.
It's
Well,
a total different police department.
all I can say now is they're just mobile units at this point. Um, and to let me backtrack to your dog story. Okay, I know where you was going at with that. Okay, yes, two dogs, two separate owners, two dogs on a leash. They could be a little rousty, but there's control behind it. Now, if you take a dog and she and the dog is on a leash with the owner holding it, and you automatically have another guy walking with his dog with no leash, and
That's a
that dog's
problem.
aggressive, this dog who's on the leash is like, whoa, whoa, whoa. I want a piece of this dude. Who the hell does he think he is just walking around with no leash?
It's
So I
true.
get what you're saying. And
It's funny.
as far as like how you put it, when a female may agitate something, what happens is Vic, I'm gonna break your ass. Like, no, Vic, no, no, don't do. Oh, this guy can fight. What? What? That's what that happens. You know, it's like a hype thing. You know, like they're not thinking like, yeah, maybe let me step back. You know, a lady's trying to stop this. You know, they're looking at it like, oh, they're trying to tell this dude, don't fuck him up. Oh, he ain't gonna fuck me up. You know, I'm gonna fuck him up, and then before you know it, you're clashing. Okay, so when you look at that situation and you put your life on the line, okay? Well, I'm sorry, not that you put your life on the line, but your life is on the line. It's a natural human physical instinct reaction. That's all to it. The way I see it, that's what happened with that situation. It was, listen,
If the
even
wife
if,
didn't say drive away, that wouldn't have happened.
yeah, but same token, okay? If the guy wasn't near the truck, if the ICE agent was not near that truck, and that truck still sped out or whatever, he would have still drawn his gun. Would he have shot? I don't know. But you know what?
No, no, he that because
You know what I'm
I
saying, right? Let's just
yeah, because I
hypothetically
think
say,
me and you have seen a lot of cop videos. You told me you've seen a lot. I'll
yeah.
take your word for it, obviously. And I've seen a countless amount just like you. And the only time I've seen a cop shoot into a vehicle that, he's away from because he knows that that dude is a bad dude,
Mm-hmm,
right? And it's very rare that that happens because normally they're just like, all right, we got a chase in our hands. And then a lot of the times, which blows my mind, which I understand, they back off. They're like, well, we got the tags, that to stop because it's getting dangerous.
mm-hmm,
In this lady's case, and I guess if you do something more than 5 times, according to books that people read, if
yeah.
you do something more than 5,000 times, I'm sorry, you become an expert. I've watched way more than 5,000 cop videos in the past decade since YouTube has been out. All right. I'm gonna tell you right now, dude's case is justified. It doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. Like
Agreed.
what anyone
Agreed.
said, bro, you cannot just take a fucking vehicle and drive off like a fucking mad person. You can't do that. It's not legal. All right. The cop made a conscious decision. Again, does she deserve to die? Not really. But then you have people that are defending her that are saying, why didn't you shoot the tires? Well, that's an admission to say that she was absolutely fucking dangerous. And she was.
Yep, yep.
She was.
Listen,
How do you approach really quick? You approaching someone that's doing the cha-cha in the middle of the road, fucking beeping the horn like a crazy person. You approach her, and she says, "Hey, I'm not mad." Like they look like fucking lunatics, dude,
yeah, they did, they did,
and
they did.
acting like
And
lunatics.
saying stupid things, you know. Um, you know, like I said before, anything can be considered a deadly weapon, but when you take a vehicle and use it as a ram, if you will, and I'm not saying that she used it as a ram, just as all she did was use a deadly weapon. Okay, let's rewind a little bit. Her first mistake was putting the vehicle into drive. That was her first
In
mistake.
reverse.
Okay, and I don't know where the hell she was going in reverse. For all I know, that could have been a panic move. Believe it or not, maybe
Because she was trying to get away. It was
yeah,
strategic. Like she
you
was
know.
trying to get away from law enforcement.
Now this is what you gotta ask yourself. Let's just say that the shot didn't happen. Where the hell did she think she was going? You know what I'm saying? Um,
Maybe she thought if she ran over the ICE agent, which I'm not saying that she tried to, but maybe if she hit him, she would get more clout on YouTube or whatever the case is. That's how I'm seeing that shit too, dude.
oh yeah, yeah. You know what? That's interesting, man. I didn't see it like that, but you're more of a streamer. You understand how that works. Like me. Like it's like watching the videos. Like, yeah, he's been suffering, but he's an artist. But he doesn't even have one like. And then you look at the likes, and it's like it's 800,000, and I'm
It's
like, what?
insane
You know what I mean?
for stupidity.
Just hit the like button. And once you hit the like button, I will send you some more content. You know what I mean? Because right now, what is it? Facebook. I don't know if you noticed this, but like, oh, I like this guy. Let me follow him. Oh, whoa, whoa, 199. What the fuck? Like, whoa. Obviously that's how they make their money. It's all good. Whatever. But I'm not interested in that. You know, social media should just simply be free. But in the aspect of what you're talking about, that I can, maybe she didn't think she was gonna get shot, and she's gonna be more famous now. Like, yeah, I dipped down on ice, man. Them motherfuckers were gonna
That's
get
what I'm
me.
saying,
You know
dude.
what I'm saying? That's why
And
I said drive, baby, drive. Yeah, I knew you was gonna outrun. You're like, what?
think about this too, right? Because even if it was surfaced, the mainstream media's job is to bury shit. So, how many times have she's done this and gotten away with it?
I
Ice
mean,
can't touch me because let me tell you something. Although, excuse me,
that's a good point, man. Hold on. Before you
even
go
even
on,
if she got away, right?
yeah.
Let's say she got away. Ice can't chase her. They can't.
I was about to ask you that, you see, because you know what?
No.
That didn't hit me, for a minute there. Maybe she just thought she was just gonna just drive down the road like with
Again,
the
like how
middle
many
finger up.
times has she done this?
Well, I tell you one thing, whether it be one, two, three, or four, she knew something. You know what I'm saying? And unfortunately, she found out in a very bad way. Um, that was a stupid move. Like I said, I don't condone death, not in that fashion. You know what I'm saying? But dude, these people have guns, man. That's all I can say, man. Like, she didn't even have fear that. Listen, man, Walmart, Walmart. I'm not BSing you, man. The Walmart right here where we go shop at. You see a trooper and one ICE agent in his little white truck. I am not kidding you, dude. Full gear, uniform, because he's walked into Walmart before. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, dude, sometimes I'm like, oh man, we walked out the wrong door, babe. Now we gotta walk by these guys. You know what I mean? And you kind of like walk, like, can you imagine? Like, I'm not worried about them, but I don't want them to neither. Like, oh, he looked at me.
Well,
Let
you
me.
know what's interesting about that too, Henry, is, when I was being accused of being like a stupid moron, uneducated, ignorant, whatever, all I'm doing is responding from the information that I'm receiving and the information that I'm researching. And according to the information that I have, yeah, now, according to some sources, I don't know how true this is, but they're going door to door and asking people. I don't know how true that is, right? Because the media is not going to tell you the truth. I think we all know that past this point.
Yeah.
That goes for Fox News, CNN, Forbes, whoever. They're all full of shit. But
Well,
the majority, really quick, because I want to give you a chance to respond. The When people are like, "Oh, how am I going to go?" I'm not saying this is what you're doing, but how am I
yeah.
going to go out to the market? Bro, they have targets. They're not going after random people.
Yeah.
They have
No, no,
fucking targets.
fully aware of that. Fully
They
aware.
have names, addresses, and then guess what? They have other people that are snitching and saying, yeah, he's in there, he's in there. So with the incident that happened in Target, I don't know if you saw the rebuttal that I had to my friend. She was like, "Oh, they captured him and beat the shit out of him." No, that's not what happened. Okay? Because you saw the end of the video. What happened is they went in to Lowe's or Home Depot, whatever it was, Target, I'm sorry, and they started asking questions. And then you had agitators in there, like in their face with cameras, like, "Why do you need his name? Why do you need his name?" And then he started fighting the fucking ICE agents. What do you expect? If I fought any fucking law enforcement, my ass is gonna get kicked. So what did fuck do you expect? Did he comply? No. Even in the end brunt of the video, she's like, "They beat the shit out of him." No, they didn't. They were trying to escort him to the car, and he kept being a fucking pain in the ass, talking about he's an
Mhm.
American citizen. If you're an American citizen, why are you fighting?
Why are you acting like that? Yep. 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 Listen, I totally agree with you. Second of all, I want to dive into that a little bit. What you said that they were door knocking. I have seen several videos where they are door knocking. Okay. And the ring cam's like they're not home. You need a
Yeah.
warrant. You need this. You need that, and blah blah blah. And what's interesting is something you said there that I totally forgot about. But yeah, people do snitch them out. Like I don't like my neighbor, and I know he's illegal.
Mm-hmm.
Let me send them over there. You know what I mean? And that's all it is. You know what I'm saying? But I'm by you saying that, I never really paid attention to it. Nor does it talk about ICE or anything. You know what I mean? I might have scrolled by them because it's just another like you're gonna get arrested because you have a warrant or whatever. You know what I mean? I just dismissed it. But ICE agents, they do have somewhat of a dress code. You know what I'm saying? Um, and the reason why I dismissed it is one of the dress codes is pretty much they're covering their face all the time. Um, and that's another thing. Everybody's like, take your mask off, show your face, blah blah blah.
I
Shut the
still don't know how I feel about that. That's why I haven't mentioned anything about
yeah.
masks ever. Like I don't know how I feel about that yet.
Like, well, look at it this way. Have you ever seen the undercovers? Okay, people
Hold
who are
that thought.
working.
We're losing time. We're gonna have to go into a second segment, and I
Okay,
love the way this is going today. So this is
okay,
definitely gonna get posted.
all right.
Hang tight. Check your email. I'm about to send it to you right now.